unit that leadership starts. And then from home, we move on to organization and then to country. So this is our vision as Global Leadership Network. Yeah, generational thinker, purpose-centered and vision-driven leader in every home, organization, and country. And our purpose statement basically will be looking at this even from the manual. We are focusing on empowering leaders for personal transformation and as trustees who will empower other leaders. Yeah, so empower leaders first, most importantly, for personal transformation, and as trustees who will empower other leaders, because we believe very importantly that leadership is one of the most transformational arm of any revolution. So if we are to drive, if we are to bring any change within our context, then one of the areas that we really have to invest in more is on leadership. Why? Because our nation or even an organizational resource may determine the potential of that nation or that organization, but it's the leaders, the leadership that ultimately will be able to unlock that potential and determine the success of the nation or even individual. So we might be endowed with so much resources as individual or even as a Okay, sorry, leaders. Today we seem to really have a big challenge with our network. Kindly bear with us. We'll look at this as we continue. So this is our purpose statement, and as I was saying, it's all about leaders bringing out the potential from ourselves and also the people that we are leading. So this is our purpose statement, and we believe that as we empower more leaders, those leaders will be able to empower others in line with 2 Timothy 2:2. And to us, we know that more people compounding their transformation is much, much better than maybe one person focusing on just running the show. So the more we are able to equip, the better for us. What motivated this masterclass, it's the issue of the leadership gap. A lot of research has been done on these areas. And as you can note, this is one of the research on the World Economic Forum. And this report was able to identify that there is a huge leadership gap that exists. Actually, out of 1,700 respondents, 86% agreed there is a leadership gap. And I think even if we are to take a survey amongst ourselves, at the end of it all, we'll be able to agree with these results that indeed there is a leadership gap. And some of the areas that were identified in this in the research areas under business, government agencies, and also on non-profits, education organizations. All these organizations needed leaders who could effectively navigate complex and changing situations. We're not saying that there are not leaders out there, but as the environment change, it also requires a lot of shift from us leaders. So keeping at pace with this becomes a really major issue. Dave Okello, can see your hand is raised. Yeah, Robert, I can see your hand is raised. Okay, so let me know if you can hear me. And as you bear with us today, I'll want to confirm mostly with the chairman or Mwangi.
Hello?
Yes, well, Mr. Mwangi?
Yes.
Am I still breaking? I know.
Okay.
I know I'm off and
Yeah,
on.
you are still breaking, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, you are on and off, yeah. But we are hearing you as you continue.
Okay. Please let me know once there is a hitch, just let me know from your end. So this is a survey and it indicated that there is a huge leadership gap. And a similar survey was undertaken also by Center for Creative Leadership. They identified 4 most important future skills. We'll discuss this more in class. And the areas focusing on leaders who are able to inspire, especially commitment, leaders who are very strategic, and also leaders who are able to lead change. And this also recurred in another survey from Asian Trusted Leadership Center. And also they identified a number of areas. So critically, we can see that from all these areas or these surveys, they all pointed on the gap of leadership challenge. And I think this is a gap that really requires a lot of attention. And this is what prompted Global Leadership Network just to come out and decide to play a role in contributing in terms of how do we reduce this gap? How do we help the leaders out there become better? And how do we enrich our leadership centers and our leadership areas? So coming to Africa, I think Africa, we've been mostly affected. A lot of research has been done, and we have seen this. It's indicated that Africa remains a net importer of food, although it has 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land. So we have quite a lot of uncultivated land, about 60%. And actually, it's estimated that Africa can feed, will be able to feed over 60% of the world population by 2050, if we can be able to make a shift on how to maximize on our resources. So the key factor here is that the resources are there, and what we require is just to be able to enhance our leadership capacity so that we can be able to tap into these resources. And bringing it closer home, we have seen a lot of leadership challenges in our institutions. Just to mention a few, remember the case of Uchumi, the case of Nakumat, Tuskys, and also Kenya Airways is still struggling, Mumias Sugar, amongst many others, Webuye, Pepper Miller. So all these are indicators. They are indicators of the challenge that exists on the space of leadership. And I think it calls us to arise from whatever point we are, whatever contribution we can be able to make, just to see how do we tackle these issues. First of all is how do we learn from these issues, and how do we better ourselves as leaders. President Moi Kibaki, the third president, one of his quotes that I really like, and it's a challenge to all of us, that leadership is a privilege to better the lives of others. It's not an opportunity to satisfy personal greed. This is a very powerful message. And as we go through the sessions, we keep on also refocusing on our thinking, our mind, our mindset shift, tapping from those leaders who we feel provoked our thinking or are aligning us for better. Example, looking at the example that I'm sharing here of the president, the third president, Moi Kibaki. So the main objective of this masterclass is to be able to engage together in a very sober discussion on leadership challenges and opportunities by analyzing both the successful and also those who might be deemed to have failed leaders in one way or another. So we look at those cases with a view to enhance our personal and also organizational leadership. Because as we we can note from this quote by John Maxwell, everything rises and falls on leadership. So we'll be engaging a lot just to be able to learn from some of these cases. Some of the cases that are successful, what are the success stories? And also those cases that they failed in one way or another, what are the lessons that we can be able to pick from such scenarios? So there are specific objectives that we look at, and particularly we look at the specific objective of how to appreciate the critical role of leadership in driving positive change. So this will be a key discussion anchored on this proverb, the African proverb: an army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. Basically, we are saying leadership determines the state of its followers, and it determines everything. So if you want to make a shift in our environment or a shift in those organizations that we have mentioned up there, the change is driven by the leaders. So, and our tomorrow is determined by how well we invest in today, our leadership capacity, and also of the people that we are leading. So we'll also be focusing so much on how do we enhance our skills, our knowledge, and also our experience. The masterclass is so diverse. So we'll be looking at all these arms, equipping ourselves to sharpen our skills, our knowledge, and also share our own experiences during the sessions. Because as Ecclesiastes 10:10 says, if the axe is dull and one does not sharpen the edge, then he must use more strength. But as we work on wisdom, as we enrich our wisdom, then we'll require less effort and we'll be able to have more impact. So we look at these issues of enhancing our skills and also cultivating resilience. Resilience, a very, very important quality of any leader. And the difference between successful and unsuccessful leaders is basically on resilience. How do I stay on power, that bouncing back power, that persistence? So making sure we're able to move on despite the challenges, because as we have noted, we are leading in times of dynamic change, and it's very easy to be knocked off the course. So it requires a lot of resilience, the inner strength to get back on track despite the bumps. And I think the best example of resilience is this gentleman on the screen here, Abraham Lincoln. This is a best example of resilience. And he said, success is going from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. For him, he had a lot of failures. He encountered many challenges, but at the end of it all, he still managed to attain his goal. He was elected as the president of America, and after so many challenges, lost his job, failed in his business, lost his sweetheart, suffered a nervous breakdown, amongst many, many other defeats. But he kept on bouncing back. And I think these are the stories that we'll be looking at in class, just to be able to help us be able to build our resilience. And also lifting the leadership lead, because a leader sets the lead. A leader sets the bar. So if we stretch ourselves, then we're able to lift the leadership lead and create more space for others to rise, and also for the organization to be able to rise. The other specific objective is to appreciate the value of self-care, because self-care is very important. It's a critical success factor in leadership. If you have been on a plane, there is this announcement that is always made. It's a safety measure that in the event of an emergency, put your own oxygen mask on first. That's the announcement, that you need to put your own oxygen mask first before you can help another one or another person. And I think this is a message that resonates with the leadership, that we need to invest more also in taking care of ourselves as leaders so that we can be able to take care of others. And this is what Urin Urban said, that my secret to success is making sure that my cup is full so I can pour into my team, my organization, and my industry. So this masterclass will be helping us just to look at how our cup is, and then create some space, create some time just to refill our cups. As we refill our cups every day, every once per week, then we'll be able to go out there and pour into our leaders' cups. So as we develop ourselves, we'll be able to develop the leaders that we are leading. And John F. Kennedy said, leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. As long as I am a leader, I am a learner. And this is what Michelangelo was saying at age of 87, that I'm still learning. 87 years, and he still believed that he's still in the classroom. He was still learning. So as leaders, our leadership curve never ends. It always continues. So the other specific objective is to develop dynamic leaders, leaders who are able to adapt to what we are calling a VUCA world. A VUCA world. We are in a situation where we are in a very volatile world, a world that is very uncertain, a world that is complex and also ambiguous. So if we are to cope in this kind of a scenario, then it calls for a lot of investment in leadership. And this is why the masterclass has been programmed, just to be able to help us to respond to these kind of scenarios and also build our dynamic qualities to be able to adapt within our environment. Because there is so much rapid change, a lot of transition. We know what has been happening in this COVID season. Leaders have had to take a lot of tough decisions, some that they were not certain they will work out, but a decision had to be made. We have had to learn and also unlearn. And I think we have been challenged and stretched, and will continue with the curve even as we move on. One leader said, a leader should keep his head in the cloud, but feet on the ground. What a perfect moment just to think about this quote, that as leaders, our heads needs to be in the clouds as much as our feet are on the ground, meaning that we really need to be ahead in terms of how we grow, how we capacity build ourselves, how we think in terms of being visionary, but at the same time, we are able to work together with the people that we are leading. So the other key aspect which we'll be engaging in is the power of networking and collaboration. It's very, very important. So in our masterclass, we all believe that we want to be Team B. Team B. There is a Team A and Team B. And in this masterclass, we are building leaders who will agree to work as Team B, where we'll be able to offer a shoulder to another leader because one is too small a number to achieve greatness. Yes, one can achieve greatness, but if we really want to do more, if we really want to make a huge impact, then working together will give us that maximum impact and transformation, and also to maximize success and create synergy. So we believe that as we work together, there'll be some projects to be undertaken. So there'll be a lot of co-learning and co-creation as we go through the masterclass. So these are just some of the experiences that we have had with the leaders during our retreats. So even those who will be joining us will be able to participate in such events at the right time. So I just felt to give you an experience of what has been happening as we prepare to join the masterclass. So specifically in terms of the course structure, as I conclude, this is the structure. So stage one will be undertaking coursework, and coursework consists of 16 modules derived from a manual titled Becoming a Global Leader. So that will take us for the 12 weeks. And then stage 2, there will be a weekly book review based on the book that you can see on the screen there, The Purpose-Driven Leader. So we'll be reviewing this book every week. Some chapters will be able to guide you. And then there will be stage 3, project proposal. This is a teamwork experience. So we'll be able to work together on a project that meets a particular need in society. And then stage 4, there will be a course evaluation. So this is also online. And stage 5, we're still working around this as we monitor how the situation continues. So this is the course structure. The content is in 3 levels for the 16 modules. So level 1, essentials of leadership, we'll be looking at self-awareness. That is very important. And then level 2, redefining leadership. Level 3, we look at developing and deploying my leadership. And then level 4 will be now sending you out there to be able to help other leaders deploy their leadership. So there are different training schedules, but for the masterclass, we are running for the 12 weeks. We adopted the one for 12 weeks, 1 session per week, just 1 hour and 30 minutes. And then we have both physical and virtual, but now currently we are focusing so much on the virtual. In terms of the cost, nothing of value comes without a cost. And therefore, the first cost will be your time. Also authenticity, because a lot of sharing. So we'll have to be very open to share our own experiences. Also relationally. And there was also the financial cost for the manual, for the book, and also for other activities that we'll be engaging in during the classes. So this will cost 4,500 for the virtual session. So that will take care of all the materials that we'll be providing. Actually, we are saying we just help us to maintain the program. That's why the cost is as it is. And then now, today we're just focusing on bringing on board cohort 11. That will be a class that will be running every Tuesday, 8 p.m. And then there will be cohort 12. This will be running on Thursdays at 8 p.m. And then cohort 13 will be running on Saturdays at 8 p.m. So those who are joining the masterclass, you have the options that you can select. Some of you have already indicated through your registration form your preference. So we have taken note of that. So if you're joining us tonight and you have not registered, it is good you indicate the cohort that you prefer so that we can be able to provide more information as we continue. So basically, that's a brief on the overview of the masterclass. Probably before we engage on the Q&A, we just have a few of us who will share their own experience. And then after that, we'll be able to get to the Q&A, and then we'll be able to conclude. So allow me to welcome Mr. Mwangi, Mr. Bernard Mwangi, just to share just a few words and his own experience from the masterclass, and then we'll be able to move on. So Mr. Mwangi, you can unmute and just proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, Mr. Mwangi, can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Bernard Mwangi. Yes, I'm Bernard Mwangi. I was in cohort 7. I joined in January and cleared in April. And first, I would wish to welcome those who are joining in the new cohorts. That's 11, 12, and 13. Something said about pudding, it is in the eating. So there is so much in store for you as you join in, and you will appreciate at the end of the course. Personally, I have learned a lot in this course, comparing to what I was while in the office. I did so much in the office, but I little did I know that I would myself or to work programs, the manuals like the one we have in this program, drawing work program manuals, writing down policies, sensitizing members of staff, and those kind of activities within the office. But little did I know that I had the potential of leadership until I joined this class. So this class has really enabled me to think outside the box. Normally we are told to think outside the box, move out of your comfort zone. And this program will help you to identify yourself, get to know who you are, and get to know what course. Those who are currently in office, I'm sure you'll appreciate the terms, the terminologies within this program are the same terminologies that we find in the office. But there is very little time to utilize or to work on establishing yourself within those parameters. So this program has been good. It has enabled me to learn more. As we went on from one topic to another, I was trying to reflect backwards. And surprisingly, I could go back as far as my primary school, because much of these leadership skills are not just when you are working. They are founded within you as you grow up from childhood. So as we were going through this program, I realized that I had so much potential, which I was not able maybe to bring out during my working time. And therefore, I would encourage those who are joining tonight that it will be very beneficial to you. It will help you understand yourself better. It will help you understand or even practice the skills that are within you. Those I have seen quite a number of you are in very professional fields, but you may not be able to really give out yourself in those activities until you get to learn what potential you possess as you go through this program. There are those in human resource departments. Human resource is about people and how do you interact with people. All this information is there. Those who are engineers, those who are whatever area of whatever field you are in, you'll be able to appreciate this program as you join in. So mine is to encourage you to come in so that you are able to get out of your comfort zone. You know, most of the activities within the office, they are usually customized to suit that environment. And in that case, as you work, you may not have the opportunity to experience or even to apply those skills outside there. But this program will help you understand yourself, understand how much office. So in that case, I would wish to encourage you to join in, and for sure you will not regret being a member of this Global Leadership Network team. You will appreciate as you join in and as you pursue on this course. It will help you even to do other activities outside the office. In the church, I have seen some of us are leaders in the church. You'll be able to expound on those principles of leadership as you get along. For the sake of time, allow me to reach there and wish to welcome all of you who are joining in. It is a program that you will enjoy. It is a program that you will not shy away even to invite a friend, having started off as the chairman has invited you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and wish everyone. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mwangi.
Yeah, I hope I was not so very fast, but I could still answer some questions in case there will be. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We'll collaborate as we'll be answering the questions. So let me call on board Leah Kelly just to share her experience. Leah Kelly.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Leah Kelly. I am a beneficiary to this program. I have been an administrator in one of the universities for a while. And I have learned a lot of leadership in various capacities. But this one, I found it very unique because it is interactive, it is engaging, it has activities which engage each one of us. And there is also group discussion. And then also there is a retreat where you network. And by the way, the retreat we had was of a very high standard. So my experience, first of all, you have to know yourself. Before you go and fill other people's cups, your cup has to be full, as you have had. So again, leadership, as we learned here, is you have to have a strong character. Leadership calls for a strong character, and you have to have a purpose. You have to have a vision right from your home. In leadership, you collaborate. You don't work alone. You mentor. You mentor others so that you leave a legacy. I learned that kama mti ule unaenda kukaa kwa kivuli, kuna mtu alipanda na akawacha legacy. So when you are a leader, you have to leave a legacy. You inspire. You also grow people. You don't go alone. You grow with you grow others. You learn to be a servant. You learn also to communicate. I've learned to communicate. Communication si ile tu unatoka na unaongea. You engage the audience. You know your subject before you go and tell other people. So this is a good cause. It's a very good cause. It will help you improve your performance wherever you are working. And then it also gives you confidence. It builds your esteem. It makes you know yourself. You know how to set goals. You know how to write visions. And above all, you develop yourself, personal development. You'll know your strengths. You'll know your weaknesses. It's all covered here. So it's a worthy cause. I'm happy that I went through it. And by the way, I try as much as possible kuingia tena. It's like I've enjoyed all through. Every day I looked forward to see what is next. And the interactive sessions, you discuss, you break into groups. It's a good thing. So it's good to develop yourself, your knowledge, so that you don't remain where you are. Always you seek to know more and more. And this course has a lot. It's rich. So I really recommend it. I every Sunday I make it a point to join another cohort so that I can learn more, because learning doesn't end. So I encourage you to learn. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leah Kelly. On the chat, we have shared the contacts, especially if you had not registered, we might want to get in touch with you. So I've shared the contacts, and also I've shared a link for registration. It's indicated the open day link, but it still applies for the class. So kindly, if you have not registered, to help us to make a good follow-up, you can just copy that link or just click that link and then provide the details so that we can be able to provide more details. Otherwise, we are almost concluding. I'll just invite two more who will be very brief also. I'll first invite Lillian Mwende just to share her experience, and then we'll conclude with John Obimo. Meanwhile, also feel free to post your question. Any question that you have, please post it on the chat so that we'll be able to address after these two have shared the experience. Lillian Mwende, please continue.
Hello. Hello.
Can hear you.
Okay, thank you. For those who are joining this class, first, I just want to tell you congratulations already, because the decision that you've made, it's a good one. For me, I can say this was the best ever. I had a lot of experience. I got to learn a lot from everything, each and every day. Like, I think it's a class where when Tuesday comes, you're like, oh yeah, I got a class. Oh yeah, I'm going to learn about this. Like, you feel like it's a class that wanna make you grow. It's a class that wanna make you understand yourself in a better way. So be ready to get to realize yourself, to realize who you are. Be ready to get to know how you can inspire trust in others. But first, you have to deal with yourself. When you tumeona, the most you be a leader first to yourself before becoming a leader to other people. So guys, I'm so happy, and like all I can tell you people is just be ready to learn and be ready to make a difference, a positive difference in each and everything. Congratulations once again.
Okay, thank you, Lillian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lillian. Asante sana. Finally, I will invite John Obimo. So John, you can unmute and proceed, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sir Joseph. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to, excuse me, I want to concur with the previous speakers who have just welcomed us. I also want to take this opportunity to welcome all of us. Global Leadership Network is one of the best. I joined it in January. I've been in it to date. I was told about it in by a colleague of mine known as Tax. I saw him around, and I've never regretted being here. Every opportunity that I get to be at Global Leadership Network, I've learned a lot. You meet leaders who come of life, and they are able to better us in different areas that we are in. As a leader, I've learned on how to be a leader to myself, just like I think Lillian did say. And global leadership tells us to think globally while we lead local. And it just starts with you yourself. It starts with you yourself, knowing that you are a leader. And I know this is part of the things that will be taught about a leader's born, a leader's made. And it's something that I had a different opinion, but I've been here and I've seen a lot of growth. But if you are in the school of thought of leaders being born, I think you are in the right place again. That global leadership is going to better what you're born with. And if you are in the school where you say that leaders are made, again, you are in the right place, because global leadership is going to unearth what you've been having and maybe you didn't know. This is going to better us in different spheres of our lives. I want to encourage those who are joining cohort 11 and 12, that this is the best place to be. I used to sacrifice my 1.5 hours every Thursday for the 3 months, and I've learned a lot. The connection here is very strong, and I love it. Please, Sana. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Sir Joseph.
Thank you so much, Mr. John Obimo, for that testimonial. So leaders, it's my pleasure now just to invite any questions. Those who are more comfortable with chatting, you can do that. Otherwise, if you feel, you can also just unmute and mention or raise any question. We'll be happy to respond. So we can do that maybe in just less than 5 minutes, and then we close. And I'm also requesting, I can see quite a number of new participants. And I think there are those who have not registered. Please take note of the contacts and also the registration link. If you can register, it will help us to make follow-up. So any question, we are opening now for Q&A. You can raise your hand and then I'll be able to note and give you the opportunity to ask your question. Or you can be able to chat and send the question if there is any. So we just take like 3 minutes to do that and then we'll conclude. Yeah, there is also a testimonial on the chat from Robert Wamalwa. So you can just check what Robert has indicated. Okay, leaders, any question, leaders? Any question? And please, if you had not registered and you feel free to also leave us with your number, that will also be helpful to be able to communicate with you. So if you can just indicate your name and your telephone number, it will really help us to be able to get in touch with you. Okay, so I can't see any hand raised, and on the chat, there's no comment. I don't know if we have been able to address the issues well. To the incoming leaders, it's a matter of self-sacrifice. That is Bernard Mwangi. Okay. Yeah, Carol indicates, thank you. Yeah, the dates are also indicated on the registration form for the cohorts. We are starting in June. So we just will have enough time to prepare and also to ensure you have the materials on time. So we'll be starting the program from June. And once we have your details, we'll be able now to get in touch with you and provide more information. Otherwise, if there is no comment and there is no question, we'll want just to pause there and just appreciate all of you for your time.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Mwangi?
Yeah. Just a comment.
Yeah.
Between now and the next class, if anybody maybe will have a question,
yeah,
probably you could direct the point of reference, how to put across a question. Maybe there are those who have been referred to the program by some of us. We can go that direction, and since there's a contact for you there, they can still come direct to you to get more detailed information between now and the time the class starts. That's my suggestion.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mwangi. So I've shared the number, the contacts for my contacts, my telephone number, which is 0720-972378. And also the one for Edith. Edith is our secretary for Global Leadership Network. So I've shared her contacts also, 0712-64-6348. Our email is info@globalleadership.ctr.org. And also I've shared the registration link. So please feel free to reach out to any of us, either through the telephone or you can also still reach us through the email. Okay, so that will do. Otherwise, I think we can stop there. We can pause there. We'll be sharing this recording just to be able to follow up. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time. Alumni, I can see many of you from cohort 3, you are on board. It's only that we didn't have time to allow all of us to share our experience, but I really appreciate all the alumni, Peter, Eda, Charles, and the rest of you. Thank you so much for coming on board. Those who are joining for the first time, we are here for you. And when we are training, we always train with our heart. We train with our heart, and we train with everything that we know and everything that we have been able to gather. We don't reserve anything so that we are able to come out better at the end of it all. Okay, you cannot compare the course with money because it's so profound. Thank you. That is Eda. So thank you so much. I know it's exciting to just continue chatting and engaging with you, but allow me to put a pause there. We'll engage once we get back to the classes with the new ones and also with those who the alumni through the other forums. Asanteni sana. So alumni, I remind you, on Saturday we are having a TOT. Please take note of that. We're having a TOT so that we can equip facilitators to continue championing this program. So maybe we can all unmute and be able to share the words of grace together as we come to the close of this session. So please, let's unmute. Can all unmute? Can all unmute? Okay.
May the grace
Of our
Lord
Lord
Jesus
Lord Jesus Christ, the fellowship of the Holy Spirit,
and the fellowship
be with
of
us
the
now
Holy
and forevermore.
and forevermore.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. You can wish someone good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Good
Bye. Good
night.
night.
Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.
Good
Good
night. Good
night.
Good
night.
night.
Good
Bye.
night,
Bye.
everyone.
Enjoy your
Good
course.
night.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.